What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Wednesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And if you're watching on the BettingPros YouTube channel, welcome to the coldest night in the last 3 years in Las Vegas. I'm wearing a beanie. I don't normally wear these things, but I like it because I need to stay warm. It is going to be 21 degrees in the desert, which you guys on the East Coast might go, it's -5 here. 21 in Vegas is ridiculous, okay? It's dry, it's cold, it's breezy. It is brutal here in Vegas at the moment. So we're bundling up to stay warm here, but the good news is the picks are still hot. We've had a pretty good run of it. 4-0 last night. Illinois State, that number made no sense to me. It fell 166. We covered with ease to the over. Dallas and Carolina, that number easily to the under. 2-1 or 2-1 final. Texas, they get a big win at home against Missouri. We cash that. In Arizona State, they don't need the points. They won outright. They went to West Virginia and won the game outright. Those last two picks came to you on our Tuesday night college basketball live stream. If you guys are not watching that, please do so. Make a note of it. Tuesdays at 5:30 Eastern Time with myself and Terrell Furman. Went 3-1 as a show last night. So if you bet all four of our plays, you wound up pretty profitable on that. Not too shabby. Tuesday nights, 5:30 Pacific Time, 2:30 Eastern Time. Sorry, 5:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Pacific Time. Sorry, I'm tired. Every Tuesday here on the BettingPros YouTube channel. So we went from a losing Monday to a winning Tuesday, and we're up for the week now as we head into a Wednesday. So where are we going tonight? Well, we're going to do 2 college basketball plays, and we're going to do 1 NHL play. Here's the good news about college basketball. I kind of told you we would figure this out. We're now 10-11. We got off to a rough start. We were 2-8 in our first 10 bets in college basketball, but since we've done pretty well. So we're rolling here, 8-3 over our last 11 bets in college basketball. So let's keep it going here. 2 bets in college basketball and 1 bet in the NHL for us here on a Wednesday. Let's start with a pick that might be a little bit controversial. Georgia is at Arkansas. This number is 1.5. This is a 2-point win, according to KenPom, for Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas. The very Arkansas team that is currently reeling. Everyone has a win in SEC conference basketball play except for Arkansas. Bud Walton Arena is going to be very angry tonight. They need a win in a really desperate way. They need a win. They're currently 0-5 in the SEC. They've lost to Tennessee by 24, Ole Miss by 7, Florida by 8, LSU by 4, and Missouri by 18. The one benefit here is that Georgia is coming off of back-to-back losses, and it looks like Georgia, the wheels might be coming off a little bit here. They lost by 18 at Tennessee and then turned around at home as a home dog, catching 5.5 points. They lost the game by 2 outright. Arkansas, ATS-wise, is 0-5 in the SEC. 0-5 straight up. They're 3-7 ATS at home, and their last home win came against Oakland when they won the game by 30 back on the 30th of December. Not exactly a hang your hat type of win. John Calipari, not that he's feeling the heat, but John Calipari is desperate for a win here, and I think Georgia's going to give it to him. Arkansas' defense has been pretty good. The offense for Georgia is really nothing to talk about. They're a great defensive team, but offensively, they're not great at all. They're 79th in efficiency, 66th in effective field goal percentage. That's not horrible, but they're 211th in three-point shooting, 38th in two-point shooting. They don't hit their free throws. They're 193rd in free throw shooting. And Arkansas defensively, that's really been their calling card this year. 36th in efficiency, 58th in effective field goal percentage, 76th in three-point defense, and 72nd in two-point defense. On the flip side, Georgia's defense is really good. 14th in efficiency, 13th in effective field goal percentage, 15th in three-point shooting, and 25th in two-point percentage. They're going to make you work, and look, Arkansas is going to have to work, but it's a desperate team. I'm going to bet on the desperation here for Arkansas to finally get a win. I'm going to lay the 1.5 points. Arkansas minus 1.5. It's going to be sweaty, but I'm going to bank on Coach Calipari to finally break through and get a win here against Georgia. Arkansas minus 1.5 for 1.1 units. Bet number 2. Speaking of teams that are somewhat desperate, let's talk about Xavier and St. John's. This is going to be a really interesting basketball game, in my opinion, because St. John's is 7-1 ATS in the Big East Conference. Sorry, 7-1 straight up in the Big East Conference. They're 7-5 against the number at home. Over their last 5 games, they're 3-2 ATS, and in the Big East Conference, they're 4-3-1. So 7-1, only losses to Creighton on the road, but 4-3-1 ATS. Xavier, though, is 6-2 ATS in the Big East Conference. They're 5-3 on the road, and they're coming off of 3 consecutive victories and 3 consecutive covers as well. On the road against DePaul, at home against Villanova, and the big one on the road against Marquette in their last game, catching 10, winning the game outright by 2 points. Now, St. John's just beat Seton Hall by 28 points. They absolutely killed them on the 18th of January. But they beat Georgetown at home in their last home game by 5, and they did not cover. They beat Nova, laying 6.5. They won by 12, and they beat this Xavier team on the road when they were laying 1. They won by 10. So they already have played one time this season, but speaking of desperation, this is a game in which Xavier, they don't have to have it, but they really do kind of have to have it. They're 3-5 straight up on the road. St. John's hasn't lost yet at home. They're 12-0 straight up at home. Again, being 7-1 in conference play, I'm not really buying it all that much. St. John's is the second odds-on favorite to win the Big East Conference right now. UConn is the third option. So is Creighton. They're the third and fourth options here. St. John's is the second option at plus 130 because of how they've played. I think you have to be a little bit careful with St. John's here going down the stretch. Not so this is the beginning of the end. I'm just not so sure that St. John's is going to run through the Big East Conference. St. John's probably wins, but give me the points. I'm going to take the 8 points here for Xavier on the road. Take the road dog to see what they can do, all right? Arkansas minus 1.5 at home for 1.1 units, and Xavier plus 8 on the road in a game that I think they may have a shot to win the game. They may actually do win the game outright, but St. John's is a tough place to play. Midweek game, though, I'll take the points. Give me Xavier plus 8 for 1.1 units. Now, third and final bet, let's go to hockey. And I'm telling you right now, if Korpisalo is in net for the Bruins, get out of this play, all right? This play is only live if Jeremy Swayman is in net for the Boston Bruins. The number 1 team to the under this year in the NHL are the New Jersey Devils. They're 30-15-2 overall to the under this year. At home this season, they are 15-8-1 to the under. Over the last 10 games, New Jersey is 9-1 to the under. They don't score, and they don't give up many goals on top of that. Jeremy Swayman is in net for the Boston Bruins. That is a must. If he's not, we're not playing this. I'm not really worried about who's in net on the other side, but it looks like it's going to be Markstrom, who's been very good at home this year with a 2 goals against average at home. This is the first meeting between the Bruins and the Devils, but the game being in New Jersey, I think, is really big. The Bruins are coming off of a 6-3 win at home against San Jose after a 6-5 shutout loss on the road to Ottawa. The Devils have lost 4 straight games, 2-1, 4-3, 3-1, 2-1, with a 5.5 goals against total, and it's juiced to the over. Only one of those games have gone over. Only one of the last 5 has gone over here for the New Jersey Devils. And at home, like we mentioned, 9-1 to the under. If Swayman's in net, we're going to take a shot here. It's even money. Actually, it's plus 102. We'll take a shot here on the Boston Bruins on the road against the Devils. Under 5.5 at plus 102, but only if it's Swayman in net for the Bruins and not Korpisalo. If it's Korpisalo, we're punting out of it and we're not playing it. But if it is going to be Jeremy Swayman, let's bet it. Swayman for the Bruins. I'm not really all that worried about who he's facing, but obviously we want the better of the goaltenders. Markstrom's the better of the goaltenders for New Jersey, so we want Markstrom in net. It looks like he's going to play in net, but let's make sure he's in net. Under 5.5. Let's take a shot here with even money for 1 unit. All right, so 3 bets for us here on a Wednesday. Arkansas -1.5 at home tonight against Georgia. Xavier +8 on the road against St. John's. And the Bruins Devils under 5.5 for +102. That game in New Jersey tonight. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning. Wherever you get your podcasts, it is the Daily Juice.